Thank you so much for being here today. We have a very interesting topic, which is all about phone skills. First, I want to start by asking what is phone skill? Oh, I'm really sorry, it's already there. So, here, phone skill is the ability to communicate effectively on the phone. And maybe most of you have already worked in a call center, and you may find things that I will be discussing relatable. So I really want to make this presentation as interactive as possible. So if you feel you want to add more information, or if you have corrections, or if you want to share your own experience, please let me know. I'm very open to any of it. Okay, on what is phone skill. So phone skill is simply the ability to interact effectively on the phone. So, and why is phone skill important? 80% of all the businesses communication takes place over the phone. And as a frontliner, as a virtual assistant in Accario, how we communicate with our clients or customer is also the reflection on how successful or poor the company is. So by communication, we build trust with our clients or customer. If they feel that we are really taking care of them by looking after their needs, validating how they feel, and providing them an excellent customer service, they're more likely to remain loyal, or they're more likely to remain a loyal client or a loyal customers. And chances are that they will improve our company, or they will promote our company with their families and friends by word of mouth. So on the other hand, bad customer service, the clients would rather do their business elsewhere. So now let's learn some winning phone techniques. There's actually a lot on the list, but if I enumerate all of them, we will be running out of time. So I would like to highlight a few. Well, who knows, there will be a part 2 of this presentation, and I can add all of them. So here are the 5 techniques. First is using of positive tone, speaking with clarity, showing empathy and sincerity, actively listening, and saying the caller's name. All right, so I'm going to discuss each of them. So first, let's start with using a positive tone. Okay, so our voice makes an immediate impression. We may sound friendly, confident, or we may sound shy or nervous. So in short, our voice becomes our personality over the phone. So smiling while you're talking can make the caller feel that you are there for them. It can make them feel that you're happy to assist them and they can trust you. So customers won't see you smile, but they can sense your smile through the tone of voice. We can actually relate this when we're talking over the phone with our friends, families, or with a special someone. So we can immediately pick up their vibe, right? And that's how we know if they're on the mood for a good conversation and whatnot. So always remember that when you're talking on the phone, smile. That positive tone can influence the mood of the other person. And again, it can help build a positive and friendly communication. Okay, so next is speaking with clarity. So try to remain clear and enunciate your words effectively while you speak on the phone. So speaking with clarity, communicating with clarity can prevent misunderstandings and keep things running smoothly. So try to remain your pace, not too slow, not too fast, and avoid jargon words. And use words and phrases that are easy to understand by anyone. And as much as possible, keep it short and simple. All right. So I will give 5 tips to help you speak more clearly, and hopefully I can apply this right now. So first is take a deep breath. Breathing is essential to producing a stronger voice and speaking. Next is to adopt a good posture. So a bad posture will actually affect not only your musculoskeletal system, but also your speech clarity. So therefore, you need to sit up straight or stand up straight to avoid tension on the neck and on the muscles. And this will actually improve your speech. Next, or third, is practicing using a mirror. So if you have unclear speech, spend some time in front of a mirror and practice speech. And while at it, focus deeply on how your lips move as you pronounce word or as you pronounce different words. And try to apply the same mechanism when you're having a normal conversation. And next is swallow excess saliva. So speaking with too much saliva in your mouth can affect your pronunciation, the sound control, and the intonation quality. So therefore, to achieve a clear conversation, swallow excess saliva and ensure that your mouth is empty. Okay. So next is speak slowly, but not very too slow. Okay. So take your time when speaking. Speaking slowly gives your tongue, lips, and jaw enough time to fall back in their rightful place. So that way they can harmoniously, they can work harmoniously to produce a more comprehensible speech. So that's it with the speaking with clarity. Next is show empathy and sincerity. So, empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes, but this isn't always easy, I admit. But it's worth the effort because it helps you connect with your customers and know their needs. So, if you can effectively place yourself in their situation, you can support them better. And by support, it means that even if you cannot resolve the issue, you can help the customer feel heard by showing empathy and recognizing and validating their feelings. So, for example, of empathy statement that I always use are, for example, with the previous call center that I worked, most customers are having issues with their internet and cable. So most empathy statement that I will provide is, I know that not being able to connect to the internet or watch your favorite movie can be really frustrating, and I would feel the same way, something like that. Or you can start your empathy statement with, I can see how important this is to you. I understand this can be frustrating, and I know this process can be confusing, or it seems like you're having a hard time, something like that. And this is actually a good time to insert your assurance statement after the empathy statement. Like, don't worry, you got me, or don't worry, let's work together to sort this out. Okay? So the key here is not only what to say or the words you use. Sometimes it's how you say it. So deliver your statement with sincerity. In that way, the customer will feel your willingness to assist. So next is actively listening. All right. So actively listening is the foundation of effective communication. So when you are a customer, especially when you're having a hard time, say with the product or with the service, You want to vent out all of your frustrations. So next that you want to feel is being heard and being understood. So this can make the customer feel that we care and value them. So when you actively listen, you'll be asking the right follow-up questions. Like for example, the customer is having issue with a cable. You can ask the right follow-up question like, can you please tell me the error message showing on the TV screen? Or if the customer is having issue with their payroll, you can also ask the right follow-up question like, can you please provide me your company name, or provide me the in that way you can ask the right follow-up question. You would be able to know where to direct the call. So actively listening is really important. And when the customers speak, show that you're actively listening by repeating the information back to them, or providing audible feedback by saying words like okay, yes, all right. But remember, do not overdo this, okay? And you don't want them to ask if you're still listening or are you still there, because the next thing that they will ask is to speak with your supervisor. So always let them know that you're listening by interjecting those words. All right. So last is say the caller's name. So personalization is the best way to build a healthy relationship with the customer. So for Western people, it is actually a cultural characteristic to call people by their first name. Whereas in the Philippines, we used to address people with ma'am, sir, Mr. or Mrs. But for me, I preferred to be called by my first name. So first of all, you need to ask their permission. Is it okay if I call you by your first name? Is it okay if I call you Faith? Also to make sure that you are pronouncing their name correctly. So if they say yes, thank them and go for it, okay? So the benefits of using the caller's first name is to make them feel important and validated. So it shows that you cared enough to remember their name, and it also shows that they are more than just a number on the queue. Okay, so it will also allow me to make the conversation a little more relaxed and friendly if I call them by their first name. But please do not overdo this, as this will make you sound insincere and condescending sometimes. All right, so next is we will be discussing the phases of professional call. So phase 1 is opening the call, which has the greeting or the introduction. Next is building rapport or identifying the needs of the caller or the customer. And number 3 is collecting and verifying information. 4th is providing solutions and alternatives or information. 5th is closing the call or the summarization. So let's go first with the very first one, which is opening the call or greeting the customer. So before answering the call, be prepared. Have a pen or paper ready or your notepad ready. Answer calls before the 3rd ring. Greet the caller, identify your name and the company name, and ask the caller on how you can assist them. So as a virtual assistant in Accario, this is how I open my call. Thank you for calling Accario. This is Faith. How can I help? With my notepad ready in front of me. So they will be providing informations. While listening to them, I take note all the important information, the name of the caller, the information that he or she is providing to me, the reference number of the call, and all. And again, lastly, is you ask them on how you can assist them. So next is building rapport and identifying needs. Okay. So first bullet, connect with the customer on a personal level. This will help them trust you even more. So you can either greet them, or when they say their name, like, hi, my name is Madhushanka, you can connect with them on a personal level by saying, hi Madhushanka, how can I help you today? Something like that. Ask their name, be accommodating, be empathetic, and be a good listener. Next is to identify needs by asking the right question. So next is collecting and verifying information. So on set of the call, you already have your notepad ready. So while the customer is providing information regarding his or her call, you're already writing down the information on the notepad. So collecting and verifying information from the caller to make sure that you're able to pull up the right account or file, or you're able to direct them to the right people or team. So this also should serve as an authentication purpose. Okay, next is providing solutions, alternatives, or information. So providing solutions could either be troubleshooting with the customer's device, making adjustments in their account or bill, or providing the right information about their inquiry, or simply referring the call to another team. Whatever the case, it is best to always let the customer know on what is happening. And before I transfer the call, I always let them know that I'm going to transfer the call, and this will take a few seconds. And this is what I'm going to do if the other person is not available. So something like that. Make them aware on what's going on. Okay. So do not just transfer them directly to the other extension. And please don't tell them that you will hold them, but tell them that you will put them on hold. Okay. So that's actually based on my personal experience when I was working as a call center agent. So that is really an epic fail during that time. So next is the summarization. So give a verbal signal that the call is ending by quickly summarizing what has been agreed, and check whether everything has been covered, and thank them for calling. So in my case, what I usually do is I let the customer or the caller know that I'm about to transfer the call to the other extension, and ask them if there is anything else that I can help them with, or there are any questions. And that's how the caller would know that the call is about to end or I'm about to transfer the call. So always check if everything has been covered, because you may not know they still have questions, or they need additional assistance. So before we end the presentation, I would like to leave a words of wisdom. Okay, so improving customer satisfaction is not only about taking a caller's message and accurately relaying it to the business. It's about providing compassionate and professional customer service. So for me, providing customer service, it's not just all about business itself. It's also providing a compassion to the customer, letting them feel that we care and we are putting their needs before anything else, and letting them feel that they are important. So by having a compassionate customer service, everything falls into the right place. So next is, okay, phone answering is just like any other skill you want to master. You have to exercise it regularly in order to get it right. So say you love to cook. So in order for you to achieve or to be very best in that skill, you need to practice every day. The same goes when you're taking in calls and you want to achieve an excellent level of customer service. You really need to practice it every day. It's either um, you practice it with someone, with your friends, or you practice it with yourself. It doesn't matter, as long as every day you're making a progress. And again, customer service is not just about the business, but also being compassionate to the customer, and um, being able to make them feel that we value them as a customer. And thank you so much.